Hello everyone. I'm just doing a little video now to try and help people with task 1, task 2 and task 3. The major problems being VLOOKUP, which is vertical lookup. The reason that we're going to do VLOOKUPs is instead of typing things all the time and typing everything again and again and again each time, what you can do is do up some databases, and if you've got some codes you can actually get Excel to look up the information for you and put it all in. So that's what we're going to do. So to start this, what you need is the invoice that you had way back at the beginning of site supervision. And so if you get a copy of that, do a move or copy and send it to the end. So that's what I've got here. That was a timber quote back at that time. So that's what I've put here. And what we're going to do is we're going to now create a brick quote, a quote for some brickwork. So what you need to do is, to begin with, you need to strip that out. And you can do this by just going clear contents like that. Clear contents, and I've already cleared this down here. You also need to put another column on the left hand side and call it code, because that's going to be our search spot. And over here what you want to do is just put a nice pretty little box, and let's label it client number. Then what you can do is you need to create 2 pages for that are going to be like databases. So one is going to be tabbed clients, and it's going to look like this: client list, and make up some client people and make up some codes. Okay, so that's going to be like that. The way to get an extra page is just by clicking on this little plus sign down the bottom. You want to do another page as well and call it resource, and in here will be labour and materials database and all the things that you might use or do on a building site. And so there's a whole heap there, and if you want you can just go to the last page in Moodle, click on the L&M examples, and on page 43 you'll find this. So just copy that out like that. Again, 5 columns just like that. So when we're ready to go, what we're going to do is, this is going to be our key box. So over here I want a client's name. So the way I do that is go up to formulas here. Instead of our home area, we go to formulas, we go to lookup and reference. Down the bottom is VLOOKUP. We get this box here, and in the box here it wants a box that's a value box. Now the value box is going to be this one here. So if I click in there, you'll see that it's gone up here. So that means it's going to look here for some information so it can put things here. It also wants a table, so click in table and then go to the clients section, and then just, here's my table like this. The client's name is here in column 2, so we put 2 here, and we always write false here in capitals. So we go like that and go OK. Now it's come up with nothing here, as you can see. But if I put one of the codes here, and so client number 1, if I put 001 here, you'll see that the name has come up. And we simply do the same thing again each time for vertical lookup. We're going to again use this one. We want our table, so we go to clients, we go over to here like this, and this time we want their address, so we want column 3, and we type in here false. Okay, and so on like that. Okay, we possibly can drag it down like this, and let's just have a look to see what's different here. It's changed our table. So if we change our table back, because we want it to have this sort of a thing here, so it's A4 and E11, and it starts with G12. So this is A4, E11, and this time we want column 4. We hit enter, don't click anywhere, just hit enter, and you'll see it's come up with the phone number. If we do it again, we're still looking at G12 as our cell. Our table should still be A4 and E11, and this time we want column 5. Like that. Just hit enter. Okay, works a treat. So now if we have a different client, so 002, and hit enter, you'll see that it all changes. Isn't this brilliant? Aren't you having fun? This is fantastic. Now we do the same thing down here. This time each row is going to look for a code here. So if we're down here and we're wanting things, it's going to look here. So let's start off with the first one. We're going to go here. We want an item. So we go VLOOKUP. And the lookup spot is going to be here in the code. The table is going to be our resource table, and it's all of this, like that. And we're after column 2, and it's false. And we hit enter. And again, you'll see that there's nothing there, but if we put a code in here like 1, it says bricks. Okay, so 1 on our resource page was bricks. And we can put all this stuff in as well. Now the easiest way to do this, because we don't want to keep going and do each individual cell, is to grab this and to put some dollar signs in. Now, you need to put a dollar sign there and one in each of these spots here. What the dollar sign does is locks that so that it doesn't move. Okay, now the only thing that's going to be different now is the column. Alright, so again we hit enter to get out. So you can see it hasn't changed it, it's just locked it. So now if we drag this across to here, like that, what we see is it's brought that across, and we've got bricks in here, but we don't want bricks in here, we want a description, and the description was in column 3, and so we hit enter. I'll just prove that to you. Column 3 is the description, column 4 is the units, column 5 is the rate. Okay, here we want the units, so that's column 4, enter. Here is quantity, we don't want quantity, and bricks is column 5 for the rate, enter. Now you can see that we haven't got dollars there, so what we can do is we can just highlight this whole section here and go back to home and say that it's going to be dollars. Okay, now to get the amount, what we need to do is do equals, because equals tells it's a formula. Then we're going to click on this square times by, which is the little asterisk symbol, this square, and hit enter. And we got an amount there. But we haven't got any quantity, so it hasn't worked anything out. So if we put a quantity in, let's say 6, it's done it for us. Now the simple thing now is from each of these corners here, just drag these down. We got nothing there, as you can see, because there's nothing in column 1. Okay. Alright, so we can just go down here and we can put all of our brick things in from our as you can see, it brings them all in. Now it's brought down 6 here, but you know, we might have something different here, like that. I think this answer is there and this answer is there, and there's 2 here and 2 here and 1 here and one, I think, there, and so on. Okay, so where do you find the answers for these? The answers are in Moodle. If I go to Moodle and we go to this first box here, Task 1 instructions gives you the details. I don't want you to worry about everything else that's in the instructions, but just here is the details, and that's the amounts you put in, and task 1 is finished. Okay, so this becomes task 1, this is task 2, and if you do all of these things in task 2, you're then ready for doing task 3, which is going to look like this. Just as a bit of a hint about task 3, this part of it is very similar to what we've just done, but this part of it here is a tracking of what actually happens. Okay, so this is a budget, this is what we've quoted. This here is what actually happens based on each day's events. Each day's events are in Moodle as well for the next task, which is, so in here you need the pipe laying daily diary. So this will help. Okay, and there's also some instructions here. This too will help. Alright, so that's it. All the best with vertical lookups and with getting your quote to do automatically working things out and putting clients in. Thank you.